A very good morning to all of you. Well, let me say malo ele to the chairman of the Pacific Islands Regional Initiative, PIRI, Governor Tatavu Moyaki from the National Reserve Bank of Tonga. Thank you for your reflections. Thank you for your statement. And of course, one thing that is sure is the Tongan smile, friendly smile, Tongan hospitality. I thank you. Ni Sampula Vinaka, Governor Arif Ali from the Reserve Bank of Fiji, and of course the members of your delegation. Hello, Luyu. Well, good morning, Luyu. Governor Luke Vorau, Central Bank of the Solomon Islands. Hello, Luyu. Good morning, Luyu too. Governor Elizabeth Kenia, Bank of Papua New Guinea. We have a mass that you have arrived this morning too. We welcome you. And of course, the host governor, Mr. August Letlet, the Reserve Bank of Vanuatu, the chairman and members of the Reserve Bank of Vanuatu Board of Directors, Director Eliki Poletawa, Alliance for the Financial Inclusion. I see here too the government officials, business industry leaders, representatives, members of the press, students, those who are also participating online, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted this morning as Minister responsible for Finance and Economic Management, one that is directly responsible for the Reserve Bank of Vanuatu, and on behalf of the people of Vanuatu, the indigenous people on this island, and everybody residing on this island, of course throughout the country, to welcome you all, distinguished guests, to Vanuatu, and especially here in Santo for the 14th Pacific Islands Regional Initiative Policy Symposium. I want to acknowledge the tremendous work that is being carried out in our region by both the Alliance for Financial Inclusion and PIRI. This has been acknowledged by the chairman. Of course, we meet at a time when our region faces significant challenges, from rising living costs and climate shocks to rapid digital transformation and growing uncertainty in the global economy, given what is happening in multiple locations around the world. Yet these challenges also present opportunities to strengthen the resilience of our people, our businesses, and our financial systems. So I take this opportunity to thank you, governors, and AFI for the work and the progress you've made for our PIRI countries over the years. I particularly thank you for hosting this meeting here in Vanuatu and to consider Santo the venue of your meeting. This is a rare opportunity, and I thank the governor for giving you a little bit of history of this Espiritu Santo. This cannot be more appropriate setting for the grassroots in our society. This year's dialogue is a very significant one as we deliberate on the theme for this year's forum, financial capability for trusted and resilient financial ecosystem, which addresses current issues faced by both consumers and entrepreneurs. The impact of the recent global development, coupled with the existing and continued threats facing the Pacific, especially rising living costs, climate-related shocks, rapid digital transformation, and global uncertainty to our people cannot be underestimated. In this environment, resilience is not only about financial institutions, it is about ensuring that individuals, households, and businesses have the knowledge and the confidence and right tools to make sound and optimal financial decisions. Financial capability, trust, and resilience must therefore go hand in hand. Distinguished guests, allow me to share my views on this year's symposium theme, which I will summarize in 5 key points. First, the inclusion and capability. Although access is a starting point of our financial inclusion journey, effective usage of financial services access points must be the final destination. Our people must be capable, meaning they can budget, they can save, they can borrow responsibly and invest for the future, protect against shocks and plan for retirement. A medium and small, medium-sized enterprise can compare financial products and manage their cash flows so we can be able to experience economic development across the key productive sectors. Let me just deviate a little bit from my statement by putting a little bit of an emphasis on the universal application of AML and CDF rules, which are meant to protect and put the order, global order in the systems and protect the integrity of the systems. But often as small economies, we have found that it has become quite burdensome, and especially in the respective enforcements within the local banks. So that it is a huge threat and challenge to the financial inclusion of the major proportion of our population living in the rural areas. Our challenge is to be able to bring everybody on board and have them bank within our financial institutions, but often the KYC processes have become a huge challenge. It may not be the case within some of your own jurisdictions, but here in Vanuatu, it is something that we must address. I want to place this on the table, the inclusion and capability. How can we, regulators of the banking industry, financial institutions, be able to navigate around these challenges so that we who have been colonized, we are not colonized by the neo-imperialist system that places huge burdens on our consumers, and especially people with very little education, but all of them, majority of them, make up the significant portion of our population. My second point is consumer trust and market integrity. Consumers and users of existing and particularly innovative services and products are the key drivers of our journey and are indispensable to all aspects of the development and improvement, not only here in Vanuatu, but across the region and the world. Trust, and I emphasize the word trust, is therefore fundamental. Consumers must be confident that financial services are fair, are transparent, and are responsive. Without trust, inclusion cannot be sustained. And I want to urge you, governors, regulators, to find every strategies and measures to ensure that our people must trust the banking system. We have experiences in our own countries and jurisdictions where people feel they don't trust the banking system, so that a more better alternative way is to bury the money they have, put them in the kitchen, in the bedrooms. We have these challenges that we must address, and I urge the meeting to give proper considerations on these issues. On digital transformation and data responsibility, distinguished guests, as we embark on this new digital era and transformation, innovation will be key to expanding access to digital finance, lowering costs, and enabling real-time services. Without trust, as regulators and policymakers, we must also be mindful of risks related to cybersecurity, data privacy, fraud, and emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence. Enterprise finance and productive investments. The MSMEs are the engines of economic development, and as policymakers, regulators, and financial intermediaries, we must encourage growth within our respective jurisdictions. As we channel savings into productive investments to MSMEs and infrastructure, we also need to protect financial stability. The governments of respective PIRI member country, on their part, need to actively implement responsible fiscal policy to complement the work in both financial inclusion and monetary policy. On climate and resilience, disaster resilience, there is no doubt that this region, our region, is vulnerable to climate and disaster shocks. We continue to experience extreme weather patterns with frequency of natural disaster becoming regular and the new norm, which together with our people have to live with. Therefore, we must collectively integrate climate adaptation and disaster risk management into our respective national development plans. Therefore, financial systems have an important role to play in helping communities prepare to mitigate, withstand, and recover from climate-related shocks. We will need to implement key initiatives such as enabling access to cyclone-safe shelters, expanding climate-smart agriculture, financing clean transportation, financing clean energy, and we will need to develop and implement green taxonomies and environmental and social and governance policies. A call for a joint action is needed as our respective governments cannot do this alone. I invite financial institutions to adhere to financial consumer protection guidelines and must address consumer grievances. Fintechs and payment providers must innovate, and must have secure systems that ensures robust verification and transparent disclosures. Our respective Ministry of Education, educators, the NGOs, online content creators, and community leaders must co-create culturally relevant financial education and deliver it to our last miles. Development partners and investors must continue to provide needed capital and technical support to enhance financial capability initiatives. The media, as partners, must spotlight both good practice and consumer risks, empowering the public with clear and sound information. Distinguished guests, as I wish to, I will now conclude, but let me conclude by saying that finance is not the goal, it is the heartbeat that keeps the economy running. Think of the financial system as the economy's regulatory network, its true purpose is to intermediate necessary resources or capital for markets to thrive. When it is trusted and resilient, families can adjust to shocks without falling into extreme poverty. PIRI member countries can achieve better development impacts. Financial capability is the pivot that connects trust to resilience. By empowering our people with sound financial knowledge and skills, there are practice-informed choices. By safeguarding markets with clear rules and responsible innovation, markets thrive. By financing the MSMEs and by promoting climate resilient and mitigation, we will convert uncertainty into opportunities. I ask each of you to ensure implementation of your respective national financial inclusion strategies and continue with your respective financial sector transformations and partner with your respective governments for the successful rollout in our PIRI countries. On this note, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to congratulate and thank the leadership of all of you, all PIRI Central Bank governors, the Alliance for Financial Inclusion Management, and all of you who are here today participating in this important workshop and make it a success. I wish you well in your deliberations and networking in the next few days. Enjoy Sando, and let me take this opportunity now to declare the 14th PIRI Policy Forum on Financial Capability for Trusted and Resilient Ecosystem officially open. Thank you so much.